YouTubers, hey YouTubers. This is me again, and I'm back to doing my readings. And it's come to my attention that I've actually strayed away from my original purpose with this webcam, where it was to actually do tarot readings rather than oracle card readings. And I've kind of fallen in the trap of the oracle card reading being a little bit simpler and a little bit easier to get a hold of. I've also had some interesting influences with my tarot decks disappearing all of a sudden. But anyway, so it's been brought to my attention, so I'm going to be moving back to tarot readings, as in tarot card readings, rather than the oracle card readings. Just wanted to put that out. But anyway, here's the reading for this week. It's going to be our normal reading, so the beginning, middle, and end of your week, and then the what's beyond your control and what is within your control. So about 5 cards. And the deck I'm going to be using is the Dreamscapes reading, or Shadowscapes reading, actually, is what it's called. Shadowscapes deck is what it's called, and that's the one I'm going to be using. So, alright, let's get going. Okay, so for your beginning of your week is the Page of Cups, and it is an internal card because it's reversed. And this is basically a paying homage card, or writing things down in a journal of some sort for yourself to see. And it's basically, you've started a journal, you're paying homage to your past, and making sure that it gets the reflection that it actually needs. That's what your beginning of your week is going to be about. So you're beginning to do this, or you're already doing this, and you're just continuing. The next card in your reading is an interesting card. It's also a reverse card. It's the Moon. And what struck me when this was happening was the hand has a heart in it, and she's showing the rest of the world the hand with the heart on it, and she's paying attention to the mask, but that's not a big deal with me. The first things that really pointed out to me was the heart with the hand, and also the reaction of the fairy beside her. At first glance, it looked like a shocked expression, but on second glance, it actually isn't a shocked expression. It's more of an interesting hand on the chin, kind of looking at something more closely. So this is what this is all about. The Moon is about reconciliation, secrets coming to light, people talking that are on opposite sides. And since this is a more internal card, this is more about you. So you're reconciling with your inner self, or you're showing things that you deeply feel about. The heart being shown, the bright red heart is being shown to everybody. It's all in your hand. It's no longer covered up, and the first reaction is actually going to be shock, or just oh my God, what's she showing this for? And then your next reaction is going to be actually, that's an interesting to look at. So what's going on is you're showing off your heart, and you're actually bringing things up that you truly do care about, like in your journaling or in whatever creative outlet you're using to speak through your emotions. You're showing the heart of yourself off, and you're actually getting to the truth of the matter. And at first that can be a really shocking experience, but you're learning to accept it, or maybe you're just taking a second glance at it and you're actually integrating it and actually thinking about it. So that's basically what this next part of your week is going to be about, is you're reconciling, and you're looking at both sides of it, and you're actually taking a deeper look into what exactly does drive you internally. Okay, and the end of the week is also an internal card. It's also reversed. It's a King of Swords, and he's not a very King of Swords? Yeah, King of Swords. Wow, I said it wrong last time. Anyway, King of Swords. He's sitting around the steps, and he is very deep in thought. He plans things out. He's a very thoughtful person. You've given yourself a lot to think about. There's not a lot of movement in this card. He's sitting. He's standing. He's not standing. He's sitting on the steps, and he's thinking. He's thinking. He's got a lot of thoughts on his mind, and it's an internal card. So you're thinking a lot about yourself, or lots of internal thoughts are going on. So there's a lot of movement internally, but not a lot of movement externally. Like there's not a lot of running around, brandishing your sword. But it's just you're getting to the point, you're thinking about things more deeply, and what this is kind of what your whole week has been about, is that you're bringing things to light, you're thinking about them, and you're actually taking them to heart, taking them in and really thinking about them. Not a lot of actions during this week. You're kind of going to be like, I won't say stagnant, but you'll be staying still, but you'll be doing a lot of thinking this week about emotion. That's what you're writing about. That's what your journal is all about. You're holding out your emotions to everybody. That's what you're going to be doing. You're taking off your masks to yourself that you've been covering up a lot of emotional turmoil, and you're bringing it into your thinking mode, and you're actually thinking about these things intellectually rather than emotionally, because that can get very heavy when you're doing that. You need to get out of the emotional side of it, and you actually need to actually intellectualize it and actually think about it. So that's basically what you're going to be doing, is that you'll be taking the emotions that you've been having over the past or what's going on now, and you're going to be intellectualizing them and actually thinking about them and finding solutions for the problems you've had maybe in the past. Okay? So, the next two cards are going to be what you can control, what you can't control. Okay, and what you can control are your internal hopes and aspirations. It's the Eight of Wands, your wishes, the fairies that you send out. The dandelions, that's what my mom used to call them, would be fairies. You make a wish and you send them out and they grow. This is actually a reverse card, so these are more internal wishes. So you're not sending them out into the world. You just have some wishes for yourself that you're sending out to yourself. You're like telling your not your alter ego, but your higher self what you really want for yourself. And it's a very self-centered week this week. This is what you have control of. You have control over your very being. You have control of what your higher self does for you, and that's pretty much what you're going to be having control of over this week, and what you're going to be thinking about this week. What you don't really have control over is the goals that the outside world sets out for you to conquer. This is the Knight of Cups. It's an interesting card. It's a right side up card, so it's a more external card. And it's on the emotional stage. What the external world is going to bring out of you emotionally is what you're dealing with here. Is what you have no control over. You are going to have to deal with your emotions. The external world is going to force this on you. Maybe you're being forced to go into therapy, or maybe you are choosing to go into therapy because someone is making you. But yeah, that's what this whole thing is about. Is the external world is going to force some emotional baggage on you that you are going to have to deal with, and you're going to have to take a look at, and you're going to have to chase down and figure out and deal with. So that's pretty much what this card is all about right now. But yeah, thanks for listening. That's your reading for the week, and I hope you have a good week.